Thanks for swinging by the podcast. I'm Karen Slack, your resident spiritual life coach. I'm here to chat about life, spirituality, energy work, meditation, intuitive contemplation, and everything in between. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Know that your free will is your biggest superpower. And if you have any physical or mental health concerns, please seek a physical or mental health professional. Now, on to the episode.
This week, we are visiting for our second of a protection and light experience. It feels like it's important for us to be extra protective of our energy lately. There's a lot of people that are going through some pretty intense energy in their life, personally and globally and in the community. And I think it's important for us to start to cultivate intention and space away from those more negative, shadowy experiences and lean into fostering some of that light internally. And we started that last week by sharing the protection and light visualization. Now, that is a meditation, as I've mentioned last week, that we have visited a few times. And I still feel like it's important for it to show up on our timeline a few times over the over the life of this podcast because it is such a tool for us for energetic and spiritual self-care. So my question for you is, what did you think about your experience? How are you doing with it? Did you enjoy revisiting this meditation a few times? Did you find yourself leaning into finding one color that honored protection for you long term? So for me, it is most often hematite. And there's a beautiful thing that can happen when you start to foster a connection with a color that means protection for you. For me, this hematite color, this shiny metallic charcoal color, honors that notion that I get to reflect away what doesn't serve me and I get to ground and protect my energy. So when I embrace a visualization like that, and then I pull my stone out and stick it in my pocket, or I put on my intention jewelry and I carry that intention with me throughout the day. I have that experience in the morning and I have the reminder of that experience and a reminder of that intention throughout my day. This is how we show up for that self care on a spiritual and energetic level by allowing little pieces like that to connect through our life. So, one of the things we're doing today for part two of this protection and light energy is we're going to embrace a tapping routine with those notions of divine protection and divine light. And again, like we did last week, I'm going to encourage you to witness what you feel, what you see, and what you know as you go. Now, there are certain points that we are going to be tapping on for our session today. Sometimes you'll see me include the hands. There's tapping points on the hands, and sometimes you won't. Today, chances are, is not going to be one of those days that we include the hands. But let me show you the points in which we will be tapping today. And if you are listening to this podcast audio wise and you're not seeing it visually or you're in the car and you can't, I will share with you verbally what those points are as I tap on them to show you. Um, yeah, so don't worry, you don't have to be able to see me in order to get it. So when we start tapping today, we're going to sit on our heart for a minute. We're going to place our hands over the center of our heart space on our chest. And we're going to breathe and we're going to set our intentions. And then we're going to move to they call it the psychological reversal point, the space in our hand between the knuckle of our pinky and where our wrist starts, just underneath our pinky on our hand. And we're going to take like 3 fingers and we're going to tap there. And then we're going to say a statement. We're probably going to say the statement here 3 times. Then we're going to move to the top of our head and we're going to take 2 fingers, 1 finger, 3 fingers, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we're going to tap right at the top of our head. And you can move around a little bit to see where you feel it the most. Maybe there's a spot that's a little sore. Maybe you have a spot that sends some little waves of goose pimples or whatever through your body, what have you. And then we're going to move to our third eye point, which is right between your eyebrows, just above them slightly. We're going to tap there. Like I said, I like to tap with 2 fingers. And then we're going to do the inner part of our eyebrow, right where our eyebrow starts. We're going to tap there. Then we're going to go to our outer eyebrow, right here where our eyebrow ends. We're not looking for the temple. We're looking for like the corner of our eyebrow on that brow bone. And then we're going to move right here to our cheekbone. We want to make sure we're on the cheekbone, not on our under eye, because we don't want to be creating bruising on our under eye. So right at that cheekbone. And then we go to above our lip, right between our lip and our nose. And we go to above our chin, which is that little crevice between our lip and our chin. Some of us have more of the pronounced one than others. And then we're going to go to our collarbone. Right past, we all have that U on our collarbone. Right past that, we have a couple of points there. And we're going to tap there. And then we're going to go, it's hard to tell with my sweater on, underneath our arm, right about here, probably about 1 hand below our armpit. So you could put a hand above your other one, right about the brow line. There we go. We're going to say that right about the brow line. We're going to tap there. And those are going to be our tapping points for today. Now, I know some of you that have done the podcast and they are like, yeah, we went over these before. However, we may have people that have not visited the tapping episodes before that we want to make sure we let them know. So what we are going to do is we're going to move through this tapping routine today. And instead of using the bowl, because I don't have it right here, I'm going to call out the space as we shift points. So I'm going to side of the hand, top of the head, third eye point, inner eyebrow, outer eyebrow. And then I will offer some affirmations. I'm going to use and focus on 4 main affirmations today. We're going to focus on divine protection, divine light, divine love, and divine guidance. And we're going to hang out in these affirmations for a minute and marinate within their energy. And if for some reason you're like, I don't want to tap, or you're listening to this and you're like on the subway, or you're in the car with somebody traveling, you're like, I don't want to be sitting there tapping on my face while I'm doing this. You don't have to. Go through and listen to these affirmations as if you are offering them to yourself, as if you are saying them out loud. Now, when you move through and I say these affirmations, you can repeat them out loud as you're tapping, or you can listen to them as if you are saying them to yourself. And you get to witness what you see, what you feel, what comes up for you as you move through this. All of that along the way, you get to be your own best witness. Okay, there we go. There is our base notions of tapping. So we're going to start off, settle in, take a moment to breathe. We come into this space and we embrace a divinely protective energy. We invite a divine light to fill us. We trust that we are divinely guided. And we witness divine love within our body, our mind, our emotions, and our energy. Now we're going to go to the side of the hand and tap there. And you're going to repeat this within your mind or listen to it as if you are saying it to yourself, or repeat it out loud. Even though things feel hard and intense around me, I fully and completely embrace divine love, divine protection, and divine light. Even though things feel hard and intense around me, I fully and completely embrace divine love, divine protection, and divine light. One more round. Even though things feel hard and intense around me, I fully and completely embrace divine love, divine protection, and divine light. Deep breath. We're going to move to the top of our head. Divine protection. Breathing and witnessing what we think and what we feel. Move to our third eye point. Divine light. Continuing to breathe and witness. Moving to our inner eyebrow. Tapping on both sides or just one. Divine love. Breathing and witnessing. Move to the outer eyebrow. Divine guidance. Breathing and witnessing. Move to the cheekbone. Divine protection. Breathing and witnessing. Upper lip. Divine light. Breathing and witnessing. Below the lip or above the chin, however you want to call it. Divine guidance. Breathing and witnessing. Collarbone. Divine protection. Breathing and witnessing. Underarm or brow line. Divine light. And you can take a deep breath, place your hands on your heart, and honor your energy as these intentions flow through you. Take a moment to be aware of what you feel and what you see. Check in with how you may feel different than you did when we first started this. Connect with any colors or images that came to mind, any words, emotions, or thought patterns. Maybe there were some images or some memories that came to mind. Maybe there were some emotions or notions or thought patterns that came to mind. As things come up within these tapping routines, often they honor energy that is surfacing to be shifted and released. So sometimes you may find that this tapping routine fosters a different experience than the visualization this week. Maybe you get to pair them together. Maybe tapping to start with fosters a surfacing and releasing of the extra muck you're hanging on to. And then the visualization pushes it out. Or maybe the visualization creates the peace, and then the tapping creates the intention afterwards. So, yeah, there we go. That is the Divine Protection and Light tapping routine. Now, I do encourage you to do this again. We did just one round of it. When clients come in and we work on tapping routines together with a specific purpose, we're going to do at least 2, if not 3 of these tapping routines. However, I want to give you the tools to take this routine into your life and allow you to create space within your life to do it separate from this podcast. And sometimes when we do it 2 or 3 times on the podcast, it feels complete and contained in the podcast. However, this work feels like it's juiciest when it's implemented in our day-to-day life. So I encourage you after this podcast or tomorrow morning or tonight to do this routine again twice in a row. Once, the first time, kind of checks in with your system to see what's there and what's challenging those notions of divine protection, what's challenging those notions of divine light, what's challenging those notions of divine love or divine guidance. And then the second one, to really allow those intentions into your life, into your body, and into your mind. And then maybe even a third to celebrate that you've done it. So there you go. 2 powerful tools over the last 2 podcasts to support a protection and light energy within our life. So there we go. We are going to pull a card to finish off today, our Wild Offerings Oracle deck. So I also, this is by Tosha Silver. We are going to pull a card. And then at the end, I want to share a client experience with you because I feel like it's really great to share some of these nugget experiences that my clients are telling me about. Hang on, I dropped a card. Oh, well, we're going to keep that one out because that feels like it dropped out for a reason. Sometimes I read jumpers and sometimes I don't. This one feels like it's on point. And then we'll get to the client experience. So, being enough. I love automatically before we even read the phrase, I love the raindrops. There's raindrops that are moving down through these leaves and this sense of nature that we see on this card, washing them clear, washing them clean, washing away the debris and excess, nurturing a freshness within these plants, nurturing their vibrancy. And see, these leaves kind of match those right here behind me. The idea of watering our energy, washing our soul, washing our energy, nourishing our energy with a fresh glass of water. The idea of clearing away our energy in the shower. If you can play the protection and light visualization while you're in the bath or while you're in the shower, how fantastic would that be to really clear away all that extra energy and to foster a connection with that light? Man, that seems like a really powerful self-care nugget. So she tells us on this card, the innermost heart says, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change, no need to grow, more deserving. Yes, you are love. So this is a reminder that that divine light, that divine love, that divine guidance that we're looking to connect with within activities like this, they're already within us. We simply get to remember that they're there. We get to slow down and listen to what comes up for us and foster a connection where we can listen to that love and that light and that guidance that's within. You're enough as you are. And when we push away all of the excess, both the external excess and the internal excess, we start to validate that we are enough. I don't think this card could have been any more perfect for our work today. So there we go. Tapping routine for divine protection, divine light, divine love, and divine guidance. Thank you for being here with me. Oh, client experience. So we went through in January, we went through a tapping activity to release old beliefs. And I had a client reach out with me to me afterwards and talk about how that tapping routine showed up at an important time in her life where she didn't even realize she needed it. And she had had an a book that was she was reading and this tapping routine that showed up in her life at the perfect time to help shift this energy moving forward. And it was really powerful to witness this shift as she went through this routine. And I was really grateful to be able to create space for her to have that experience. And it showcased, and I've had that happen a few times now with clients that are like, oh my gosh, this work is happening with us here, and I'm reading this book, and they just pair together. And they didn't start out thinking that that's what was going to happen. Or I had my session with you, or I did this activity, and then I listened to this podcast, and oh my God, they were talking about the same things. Notions, when we are embracing a new energy, and we are moving through this energetic self care or this spiritual healing, it shows up. We create space and it shows up. So the book that you need or the podcast that you need shows up at the same time as the activities you're moving through. And we get to allow space in our life for this to happen. So there you go. I love it. I love to be able to witness the powerful work that all of you are doing. I'm grateful to be here in this space to support you. And I would love your support in growing this podcast. So leave a review or follow, subscribe, share it with a friend. And if you would like to connect for some one-on work together, let me know. We have some one-on-one options for in-person, virtual, and appointmentless coaching that shows up in your life at the times where you're ready for it, instead of you adjusting your life to fit into it. Thank you for being here. Continue to celebrate your uniquely beautiful self, and until the next podcast.